What's going on, my Flabby family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. This tickle be right here, y'all. This tickle be right here. The guy on the screen here come from Yahoo Sports. Basically asked Annie Costabile about Caitlin Clark not using her platform strongly to actually advocate for the CBA negotiation to try to get it done. Basically insinuating that she hasn't been doing enough. Man, we got to get into the nonsense.
Yahoo Sports broadcast a live television segment that would spark significant controversy.
I want to be fair, but also real for a second, right? Like, there is one player in the W that tomorrow could call up Saturday Night Live and host it. There's one player in the W that has that level of platform that everybody pays attention to. Knowing that, while I'm not saying it's her job to come in and fix a league and fix a problem here, we haven't heard a lot from her. She hasn't really used her platform or her voice in a strong way in this process. How much obligation should Caitlin feel at this point from her peers and from her league to stand up and...
Yahoo Sports commentator Annie Costello delivered an on-air critique, arguing that Caitlin Clark hasn't leveraged her platform effectively enough to advance WNBA CBA negotiations. Her framing appeared measured, acknowledging that fixing the league wasn't technically Clark's responsibility. However, the underlying message was unmistakable. Clark commands the most substantial platform in women's basketball, possessing the type of influence that could drive meaningful change. Yet she hadn't been sufficiently outspoken regarding the CBA circumstances. This was Costello's central thesis. Let's examine how this reasoning crumbles when confronted with actual evidence.
She should feel obligated at all right? And to say that she hasn't said anything, it shows you're not paying attention. Caitlin already stated they need to play ball. It's as simple as that, man. She said it flat out, clean, very clear so you can understand. They need to play ball. Both sides need to compromise. Basically, during the USA training camp, she said we need to play. All right.
Caitlin Clark already spoke up about
the collective bargaining agreement discussions dominated headlines throughout the season.
At the USA basketball training camp. Now, if we go over here, we have this individual who is tied into the WNBA media, basically stating need to play basketball, quoting Caitlin Clark and leaving this meeting. Right? We see what's going on. And the funny thing is, Paige Beckers came out, literally reiterated exactly what Caitlin stated. And look what he does. He just retweets it. So now it's okay for Paige to say it, but Caitlin said it weeks ago. And everybody crucified the woman. I mean, my goodness.
This reasoning only functions if you're either completely inattentive or deliberately ignoring recent events. Neither possibility speaks favorably of those advancing this position, and what makes it even more difficult to accept is the glaring double standard that emerged. When Paige Buchers expressed virtually identical sentiments to Clark's statements, emphasizing her desire to compete rather than strike while calling for progress from both negotiating parties, the response was dramatically different. There were no union opposition accusations, no sustained criticism from the same social media accounts that had relentlessly attacked Clark for weeks. Instead, there were approving acknowledgments and widespread sharing. Identical messaging from different messengers received completely opposite receptions. If the content was genuinely problematic, both athletes should have encountered equivalent backlash. They didn't, revealing that the issue was never actually about the message itself, but rather about the messenger's identity.
Caitlin has already stated what needs to happen. She has done more than enough to help this league. More than enough. Are we forgetting this as well? When Allison Barber stated what Caitlin Clark said to the WNBA about them selling out the away games. Let me play it again so y'all can remember, man. Because some people might have forgot. Look.
After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team players. She said, wow, we're making all this new revenue, and I would like the away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus? So that's the heart of Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a classy, amazing.
Caitlin Clark has been managing this particular challenge throughout her professional journey.
For Caitlin by any means, but what I've gathered, having covered Caitlin for years now, even going back to Iowa, covering some of her tournament games at Iowa, I think she's always been a very calculated person. And in the current stage of her schedule, she's not playing anywhere right now. So her media obligations are very limited. So when you look at these other players who are being more vocal, it's not necessarily because they're going out of their way to speak to the media. They are obligated to in different settings, whether it be Unrivaled, Athletes Unlimited. Now, Neko Gumake, the president of the WNBPA, has certainly made herself available. Different members of the executive committee have certainly made themselves available. But when it comes to other players who are not necessarily in union leadership, that access has been limited. And so I get what you're saying in the sense of like Caitlin is the face of the league. She has power. When she speaks, people listen. That's very valid, but she's also a very calculated person when she does speak. And I think the people leading these negotiations are not necessarily asking that of her. And so if you're Caitlin, you know, is it your job to supersede player leadership? I don't think that is a tactic.
Alice Barber's recollection of Clark's early career behavior provides complete clarity regarding this situation.